Welcome to the Inner Sleeve. I'm your host, DR. And today I have another vinyl ranking for you. I'm actually just going to call it an album ranking because with this band, they only have 3 of their 6 releases available on vinyl. And I only have 1, but I have 4 of the 6 on CD. So we're going to go ahead and rank them anyways because it may be a really long time, if ever, before this band has everything on vinyl. So the band I'm going to talk about today is Communic. So Communic is a Norwegian progressive metal band formed in Kristiansand, Norway in 2003. They are a 3-piece band, and I'll talk a little bit about the band members here when we get into actually taking a look at the vinyl, which I have over here above my left shoulder. I have the first 4 albums on CD in this little set that they put out called the Nuclear Blast Recordings. And when I get to my first CD of the albums, I'll show you this set here a little bit more. So how I found out about Communic was through Pete Pardo on Sea of Tranquility. I think it was sometime last summer, 2022, where he had talked about the band in one of his, I don't remember what video series it was, but I decided to check them out and I really liked what I heard, and I've kind of been obsessed with them ever since. And I wish more people knew about them because maybe they would bring out some more of their stuff on vinyl. So that's why I want to do this video. Pete also did an album ranking recently. I was planning on doing it before, but he got his out about a month ago. So anyways, I've been listening to a lot of the albums, or all these albums again. I'm going to rank the one I don't have in any form, and I'll show the cover art here. That album was called Hiding from the World. I'm going to rank that number 6 out of 6. So my least favorite album. I did not pick off any of my favorite songs at that album. I've only streamed it a few times. This ranking could change as I get more experience with this band. Again, I've been listening to them for like probably 8 or 9 months at the most. But the latest one ranks last for me. So moving on to my number 5 is the one I have on vinyl, which is Where Echoes Gather. And I have to say that all their albums are solid, so even though this is number 5, it's still a really good album. In fact, the top 5 for me were really close. But I'm going to go ahead and show you the vinyl and everything here on this one. So they are now with AFM Records, which is what this one is on. Again, this is called Where Echoes Gather. There's the front of the jacket. There was no hype sticker. The back of the jacket gives the song names. This one's a little unique because they have songs that have different parts listed, which the different parts are considered the tracks. They don't do that, I don't think, with any of their other albums. This one came out in 2017. This is the gold vinyl edition. It was limited to 250 units. This is still out there. I ordered mine through Amazon and it came from Europe. This is the gatefold. So in here we have a picture of the band. Like I said, it is a 3-piece. We have Oddleif Stensland on guitars and vocals. So that's Oddleif there. We have Erik Mortensen on bass. And then on drums we have Tor Alti Anderson on drums. So really good sounding band, especially amazing what they can do as a 3-piece. I know there's a lot of good 3-piece bands out there, and these guys are really good. You guys need to go check these guys out, especially if you're a progressive or power metal fan. Really good prog power metal here. Taking a look at the vinyl, really good gold color. I really like this gold color actually. Both labels are the same. Excellent sounding vinyl quality, which I was surprised because they shove a lot of music on this. I think it's nearly an hour, but the vinyl quality is really good, and the production is good. Really good sounding vinyl record here. Good sounding album. So with the rest of these, I'm going to try to give a couple of my favorite songs here. On this album, Where Echoes Gather, which is actually a 2-parter with Beneath the Giant and the Underground Swine, is probably my favorite on side A. Of course, there's actually technically only 3 songs on side A. On side B, we have Black Flag of Hate. It's an excellent song. Really heavy song. I love the drum intro, the staccato drum part they have on this. So a lot of good song. Like I said, those are my two favorites from the album, like a lot of the other ones on here as well. But again, this one ranks 5th out of 6 for me. But overall ranking I gave this for the sound, or for the music, I'm sorry, was 3.75. When you throw in the cover and the quality and everything, I gave it a 4. Good stuff from Communic. Alright, the CD set here has my number 4 song, or number 4 album on, which is Payment of Existence, which is their 3rd studio album. Payment of Existence came out in 2008. But before I move into talking all about Payment of Existence, let's look at this CD set. So I don't really like how they did this, because they used the Payment of Existence artwork, which is that lady there, on all the CDs with just a little box like they show here of each of the album covers. So I'm probably going to go ahead and stick in some images as I talk about each album, or before I talk about each album, so that you guys know what the artwork looks like. So here's a larger version of Payment of Existence. So you can see here, this first CD has just a very small image of Conspiracy in Mind, which is their first album. And this one has a very small image of Waves of Visual Decay, which is their second album. And Payment of Existence actually has a little incent of Payment of Existence, even though it shows the rest of it around it. And then the bottom deep here, we also have a little inset for that album. So they do show a little bit of bigger artwork here on the insert, which I like. They have all the lyrics here, which is great. So I like that they did that. So nice booklet here you get with the CD, or with the CD set. So I'm just going to have my notes here with me so I don't forget. But for Payment of Existence, my favorite song on the album is probably the first one, which is On Ancient Ground. Another one of my favorites is Becoming of Man, which is track 3, Payment of Existence, track 4, and then Raven's Cry, track 6. Still, it's a pretty strong album. It was really hard for me, splitting hairs between this and the one above it. So my number 3 album off of this set was The Bottom Deep. There is the artwork for The Bottom Deep. Bottom Deep came out in 2011. My favorite songs off of Bottom Deep are Flood River Blood, Voyage of Discovery, that's tracks 3 and 4. My Fallen was probably my favorite. It's either that or Destroyer of Bloodlines, which are songs 6 and 7, track 6 and 7. So those are both really good songs as well. If you want to check out the Bottom Deep, I suggest starting with those. One interesting fact is I just went back and looked at Pete Pardo's ranking and saw we were quite a bit different. He had ranked this album last, and I have it at number 3. As I listen to each one, I rate each song, and then I average out the rating for that album, and then I use that as the overall album rating to come up with how I'm going to order them. So I try to do a little bit of a systematic method so I'm not biased or biasing things too much. So my second favorite album is Conspiracy in Mind, which came out in 2005. And Conspiracy in Mind has one of my absolute favorite Communic songs, and that is the last song, Silent Surrounds. One of my top 3 songs by them. The other couple of ones the other songs I really like the most off of this album are Conspiracy in Mind, which is the first song. Which an easy thing, if you want to check out Communic, just go listen to this first album, listen to the first track and the last track, and you get a good feel for what they are. Communication Sublime, track 4, is another one of my favorites on the album. Ocean Bed, track 6, is also another favorite. But the songs are all really good. It's really hard to pick favorites. So again, you guys need to check Communic out. They're really good. So moving on to my favorite album by Communic, Waves of Visual Decay, which was their second album and came out 2006, which was just a year after Conspiracy in Mind. And these albums both, they have definitely a similar feel to them. Another one of my top 3 songs of all Communic albums opens this album up, Under a Luminous Sky, a kick-ass song. You guys really need to check it out. Another one of my favorite songs by Communic is called At Dewey Prime, and that's the last track on this album, track number 7. Let's see, the other favorites off of this album are Frozen Asleep in the Park, which is track 2, and Watching It All Disappear, which is track 3. And then Waves of Visual Decay, track 5. So those are all really good songs off of Waves of Visual Decay. I do see that they are on iTunes, all these albums, and I think they're also on Spotify. So they're easy to check out. You don't have to go buy the CDs, although right now it's like $22 to get the first 4 albums on CD, which I thought was outstanding. And then I paid like $30 or 30 plus shipping or something on Where Echoes Gather, I think, which is the 5th studio album. But overall, if you guys are metal fans, progressive metal, power metal, like them both, I'm not a big prog metal guy, but this stuff is amazing. It is going to take a little bit of time investment though, because the songs are all pretty long. Honestly, they don't get boring at all. There's a lot of good grooves. They change up a lot. It's really good stuff. It holds your attention through the whole song. Through the whole song. Most of them are in that 6 to 10 minute category. I think Silent Surrounds may be their longest. I think it's over 10 minutes, but definitely worth having a listen. So I hope you guys enjoyed this album ranking. If you did, please like and subscribe. Keep those turntables spinning. See ya.